get in lane, stay ahead, beat people to death.
Well, we are going to move into Champion Select, and I like that you've iterated that. We'll have a look to see what is going to come out of Champion Select in order to sort of capitalize on these strengths, or whether or not the opposition is going to be able to utilize it in their own fashion. But Diana going to be the first ban here for IG. That's a lot of respect to Godby.
Certainly is, because Diana was doing really nasty things on the Rift a couple of weekends ago when it wasn't being banned. And once again, attack PYL. Get rid of the Alistair, one of those supports that he can get a little bit further behind on while he's helping people. But then, yep, stop the initiation, stop all those good things. As Zatai cops another Shen ban. Yeah, Shen is going to be removed from Zatai, so no first pick. Of course, Shen has seen a lot of first picks here in the LPL, so make sure that you remove that one. He had like a 12-0-11 game on it. Yeah, ridiculous. That's another thing. So a lot of reasons to ban away that particular champion. Gragas is going to hit the bench as well, as IG are going to target TBQ on that one. But they need to get rid of Echo right here. Yeah, or Kalista. Oh, they do get rid of... Yeah. Well, IG, they're taking a long time thinking about whether or not to lock in Echo. They actually are, as they move over a few different other picks. That was facetiousness. It was, but backfired completely, right into my face. So that's unfortunate. They are going to lock it in eventually. So we just wanted to make you sweat, Atlas. Yeah, I certainly did. My goodness, don't turn the cameras on, because I am feeling very flustered. LGD now looking to pick up their first 2 picks here in this draft. Zatai looks bored. Well, he picked his champion. He's like, yeah, he's bored. He's done. Yeah. That's not his champion, I don't think. Wait, it's a tie. Could possibly be. As Braum is being considered by PYL and TBQ yet to make up his mind. And I like this pickup. You mentioned the fact that Braum, fantastic synergy with Lucian, and that has been predominantly what Time has been playing. May as well just pick it away. Yeah, certainly, especially because Kitties plays Braum quite well there in the bottom lane, so it would not be a bad pick away. And it allows Imp to, once again, play an aggressive mid-game AD carry and try and bully the lane with PYL absorbing a lot of that damage. And what do you think about LGD not looking at a potential Victor pick, as they actually lock in the Vayne here? The bottom lane already secured here for LGD, but IG, they can go for that sort of Venn diagram type team comp with the Victor. You're just head in hand right now, Spawn. You just don't even know what I'm talking about. Imp released an AMA a while ago, and he had played no Vayne. And one of the questions was directed at Vayne, what she needs to have to get back into competitive play. Okay. And he said, just doesn't do anything better than any other carry, doesn't have enough lane clear, gets picked on in lane, you have to pick Janna to play with it. And since that was released, he has played an absolute truckload of Vayne. Like, so much Vayne. And he's locked it in again. And he locked it in first round. Yeah. So, yeah. Pen's been dropped, ladies and gentlemen. Spawn's out. Just doesn't want to deal with this one. I really like Vayne in the current meta. I think Vayne is, as long as you can pick the lane that you're going into and you're happy to lane swap if you don't get a good lane, then Vayne can be super effective, because attack speed, shreds through high target health, also is that assassin when she picks up the Blade of the Ruined King to deal with low target health. So Vayne's a really versatile pick if you can protect her in bad matchups, and we've seen that teams can successfully execute that, and LGD, one of the best teams at hiding people. Well, the Kog'Maw was locked in over on the side of IG. Janna as well here for the bottom lane, but it is going to be the response from LGD to grab that Hecarim as well as the Rek'Sai. Looks like they're going for some dive buddy tactics here for these team fights, and Godby is making spooky. It's spooky type. I wonder what that gives away as far as his pick is concerned. We'll see what he decides to go for, but on the side of IG, they're still making up their mind for the mid lane and the top lane. Yeah, so maybe you protect the Kog'Maw comp coming through here. Yeah. Would be very good news for Time. Of course, a new AD carry, getting a little bit more extra protection. We saw that IG were happy to do this with Kid in the roster, but they were playing it primarily with a Vayne at that stage. Yeah, and at the moment, sort of looking like a Nunu away from a Juggernaut here for IG. Not going to be the case, so it's going to be the backline protection type team comp instead coming through from IG, and they are going to lock away the Lulu. And of course, I love rookies Lulu. Yeah, and I've of course said LGD, which confused the heck out of you. I meant IG were happy to play a protect the AD carry comp with Kid on the lineup with the Vayne, but this time they're going for Time on the Kog'Maw, and Kog'Maw Lulu does so much work, and the reason being is that Kog'Maw gets a lot of attack speed with Trinity Force Blade of the Ruined King, and Help Picks does a heck of a lot of magic damage.
Oh, yeah.
So even though you're arming yourself against a primarily AD threat in the bottom lane, just the amount of magic damage spat out because of that help picks means that you have to grab an Aegis, you have to grab the Spirit Visage on your top lane, all those good things that you don't want to have to build against a primary AD threat coming there.
Yeah, but it does remove sort of that very early Frozen Heart, things like that that can really stop all of the attack speed that's going to be coming through onto the Kog'Maw. So I understand what you're talking about. It does put you in a bit of a sticky situation as far as that defensive itemization. But LGD, they have gone with the Orianna in the mid lane, so a lot of wombo potential, and it might have a little bit more protection than we thought here with the opportunity of grabbing that protection from the Command Protect in the mid.
Yeah, certainly is a little bit more on the side of LGD right now, and Acorn on the Hecarim has Ignite, probably going for Trinity Force first. Will have the opportunity to dive in with that ball, see if he can delete time off the map before he becomes a problem as this game progresses. And once that goes through, you have to think that there's a little bit of a lack on IG's lineup, so need to make sure that Kitty's ultimates and knockups are on point to really protect the Kog'Maw.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit rough here, but we'll see how things actually turn out, because if IG can control the game, then the late game's looking fine. We are going to go through the lineups, though, as Zatai on that big tanky Maokai against Acorn's Hecarim, definitely a seasoned Hecarim player, as well as Cacao has picked up the Echo into TBQ's Rek'Sai. This is the matchup that could really turn things around in favor of IG.
Yeah, certainly could. Cacao needs to look to get into the lanes early, see if he can affect them, as Rookie has taken Lulu one more time, and Godby back on his famous Orianna. I love seeing what builds he goes.
Oh, yeah. And I think it was the Rod of Ages, actually, that he picked up last time he played it. Still opting for a lot of movement speed as well, as we saw time against Imp there, and Kitty's taking on PYL, the melee against the ranged supports here, but both pretty decent in the disengage front. So we are going to see Rookie fan
nice
in the audience there.
There's always Zatai fans.
Yeah, well, it's true. Zatai. Pretty exciting player to watch. But speaking of which, let's get onto the Rift. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, for our final series of the night. Invictus Gaming taking on LGD. IG on our blue side this time around, as LGD are going to be on the red, and IG looking to be moving in a defensive line, but LGD grouping up, looking to try and get something going on early in this game.
Just to paint the scene as we see a 5-point defense coming through. These teams, 3 points separate them. LGD currently behind. Both teams have 9 points available this weekend and play each other, and then LGD go on to go against OMG and Vici, as a deep invade coming through from LGD right now.
Yeah, Saplings are going to be tracking the LGD members as they move through. TBQ above ground, actually, so not going to be spotting anyone with the Tremor Sense just yet. See whether he decides to go for that Unburrow, or whether he wants to have a little bit of a faster jungle clear for the first level, which is almost unnecessary.
And IG come up against LGD, WE, and Snake, as they're looking for someone to catch out. Doesn't look like they're going to find anyone. And they haven't seen 2 members come out of the jungle, so they must know right now that the lane swaps come through.
Not a lot of knowledge for either side, yeah. Well, it's going to be wandered over here by PYL. So
trade of blue buffs. Freezer's going to come out for respective laners, and this is what we said. LGD love to hide TBQ. That's why they're happy to take the Vayne a lot of the time, because there's just not a bad lane matchup if there's no one else in the lane.
That is very true. It's pretty hard to lose against minions. But does mean a bit of an island here in the mid lane, but both of these mid laners more than happy just to hang around. Of course, the Command Protect going to be helping Godby very well in these trades, as we just saw. And Acorn and TBQ just going to take away their respective areas of the enemy jungle.
No shared experience on the buffs for both junglers, so they get level 2. And a little bit quicker of a jungle clear going to come through right now for the Hecarim because of the spammable Q, as opposed to just some percentage health damage coming through for Zatai on the W.
Yeah, of course, Zatai has already taken down 4 of those jungle creeps, I believe, so able to get a lot of the little ones. Might have been just the little raptors as well. I'm not entirely sure what he decided to grab there, but
he did. He grabbed the 3 little raptors.
Well, Glitter Lance nicely landed there from Rookie as he's shoving in this wave. Decent farm from Godby as, of course, this wave is going to crash forward and going to be able to pick up some extra ones.
PYL actually leeching some early experience. He very rarely does this versus Kitties, who has just stayed out of lane the entirety of time, so hasn't yet to pick up any experience roaming around the map, which means that Cogmore, who scales really well with levels for a hyper carry, by the way, is going to be accelerated throughout this early game.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to talk to you about, Spawn, was sort of why PYL would be doing this. Is it more beneficial on a Braum to have some extra levels here in the support role?
Yeah, maybe just feels like he can't get anything done anywhere else on the map, and just wants to be the person that if Acorn decides to teleport up into that lane, is able, Zatai, able to deal with it. Otherwise, yeah, just maybe looking to get some levels in there to make sure that he's able to impact team fights early on with his ultimate. Of course, that's the most efficient way. That's why people split this way across the Summoner's Rift, because it is the most efficient way to gather resources, keeping that duo lane down there, especially with the talents that you get in the utility tree. So just making the most of his early game. In saying that, the change that we made when you catch up on experience is so huge right now. So that's why we see Janna sometimes exit lanes, make sure that she's just in the vicinity warding up, because if you get behind 2 or 3 levels, you catch up really quickly as a support player when you do grab that farm when everyone's grouping up.
Yeah, and it actually makes experience on the Rift worth that little bit more.
Yeah, if you can delay it.
Yes.
If you don't get caught out at the level 1, level 2 mark.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So a bit of a trade-off there as far as how safe you are going to play. But one thing I did want to talk to you about, Spawn, was when these teams are strong. I'm looking at this Cogmore comp thinking they're aiming for the late game stage, but am I wrong in thinking that?
Well, Cogmore's really weird because he's arguably the best Trinity Force user that is an AD carry in the game, along with Corki. They're the two, right? So the reason that Cogmore's so good is his ultimate costs no mana, and you can throw auto attacks out with your W on, of course. And W auto attack with Janna Shield is just really good. One auto attack trade, you can get the heck out of dodge. You don't have to extend a trade after that, which catches a lot of people off guard because you max it first, you get a Sheen proc in there, and it's really effective. So Cogmore's kind of that carry that every step along the way, he just gets built up a little bit further, which is why he's always been one of the most popular hyper carries coming through. Jinx has a similar thing when she gets to Infinity Edge and is really good, can snowball games incredibly hard if she gets that one team fight, but then drops off because she needs the third item, Last Whisper, if people grab armor. Whereas this Cogmore doesn't have that problem. We've already spoken about the amount of magic damage on the lineup for IG. Cogmore not going to fall away because everyone's going to have to build the Lockets, the Spirit Visages first up. Just gives him that little bit more window. So you have to think right now that IG, because of all of the magic damage and then the Cogmore threat, will get into this game a little bit earlier on than they maybe should necessarily.
On the side of LGD, they do have sort of the Hecarim for hyperscaling as well as this Vayne and the Orianna.
LGD,
so
as the game goes on, go ridiculously well.
Well, we'll see who's going to be able to take it, whether IG can control these fights and keep time alive. Does seem to be a lot on the back of this Cogmore as their ability to get damage down, even if a lot of the damage is going to be coming from Rookie, and the fact that he can get that help fix in there for the extra damage, it's still going to be using this Cogmore as a vessel for that damage.
Yeah, it certainly is. And the other thing that you have to point out, just ever since that Godby started showing us how potent he is last playoffs on Orianna, is that if he ever catches time out, he will pull the trigger and destroy him on Orianna. Godby is the best Orianna player in the LPL right now.
I'm not sure there's anyone that's better.
Faker's a very good Orianna player.
Yeah, he's also
very good
Lulu
player.
Yeah. I like to just think of him on a different plane, to be honest.
Toys is a really good Orianna
That's
player.
true. That is very true. We actually recently saw Toys play, and I believe they lost against AHQ and they played Orianna. So I don't know whether I still believe that.
Yeah, I forget Season 2 words as well sometimes.
Very good point. Very good point. But Rookie is going to be clearing out this mid wave quite easily, of course. Turned into a bit of a farm lane here for both the Lulu and the Orianna.
Both the control mages, this is what you expect to come out of this lane. Godby will have a more offensive impact, and it's strange saying that about an Orianna because we always talk about Victor Orianna where Victor has the offensive impact, but Shockwave a much more offensive ability coming through than the Wild Growth. But Rookie is just going to keep Cogmore alive and augment everything that you need, the movement speed, the attack damage that will come through because of it. So really interested to see how they play this mid-late game. because it's going to get there.
Oh, it most certainly is. Of course, things moving pretty slowly at the moment, and of course, the lane swap being accepted by both sides.
So they bounced the wave there. Yeah, so they bounced the wave there. So Cacao ran up into the lane to make sure that Zatai wasn't going to get zoned off CS. So what they're doing is hard shoving that into turret. Then they'll send everyone back and just allow Zatai to CS by himself.
So he can grab that minion wave when it's a little bit more safely close to his turret.
Oh, it's PYL and TBQ. We mentioned that they like to team up.
Yeah, they're looking to try and pick off time here as well. Devastating charge in from Acorn as Chilling Smite comes down. Time has to use the flash there, but gets knocked up. There's the stun from the concussive blows, and first blood goes to TBQ.
And even worse, Zatai teleported down, and they burnt both summoner spells on their AD carry. He was dead. As soon as he saw two people behind him, probably should have just resigned to his fate.
Danced in the middle of the lane.
Well, he's going to be stunned, so yeah, he should have just...
Or danced when he had the opportunity.
Yeah, like it.
You know, that sort of thing. Needs to be doing those. But Acorn and Zatai now going to be facing off in the 1v1.
I just figured out what you were trying to do there.
Really?
Yeah.
It was that bad? Really? That is unfortunate. Acorn, on the other hand, is going to be able to hold this wave quite close to his turret as well.
That'll push.
But for now, it's quite close to his turret. You jerk. Well, Ty is going to make his way forward as well. Doesn't know where TBQ is, of course. LGD with a lot of wards towards the bottom side of the map. Unfortunately, they weren't able to pick up the first dragon, despite all of this extra vision that they now have acquired. I'm going to try and grab that when
I just grabbed that ridiculously early on in the game.
Yeah.
That's one of the strengths of Echo, being able to secure the early objectives with his huge shield that he grabbed.
Parallel convergence makes it pretty handy, as well as the fact that the longevity of the Maokai and the incredibly high base attack damage spawn.
Highest in the game.
Look at that. Hitting time though, we are in sort of the upside down laning phase now, as both the Janna and the Cogmore going up against Imp's Bane.
Imp got the lifesteal before he had to ever face Cogmore in lane, which means that he's just a little bit more safe. The persistent trades will go in his favor. There's no lifesteal on the side of the Time Kitty's lane. No real heal that comes through unless you count the Monsoon at level 6. So Imp more than happy to get up in their face and trade. As you can see, try and zone them away from some creeps.
Yep, cheeky auto attack there, uses the tumble in order to pick up the farm as well. You can see Godby's almost picked up every single creep to ever get into this lane.
He's a really good Orianna.
He is. Certainly able to farm quite well as well. Living artillery from time as he tries to farm.
PYL once again.
Yeah, Kitty's actually going quite aggressively as well, but Unbreakable going to stop anything. And of course, Janna not with a whole lot of damage at level 4, or ever.
Now maybe the dive set up.
Well, Imp looking for a condemn here. There's the final hour popped. He gets the stun. True damage not going to be mitigated with that exhaust. Kitty's is getting very close to dead as POL tanking the turret is going to leave. Rookie was up here as well, so they do disengage.
Rotation came into the top lane from Rookie, but in the end not able to get anything. So early in this game,
yeah, Echo actually looking for Godby here. Parallel convergence is down. There's the shockwave as Godby's going to skirt around the side. Not even going to get slowed. There's the wild growth as well. Command Protect is there. He makes it under his turret. Is he going to be able to get there? There's the auto attack. Finishes it, and Chrono breaks out.
And this is why you just don't give Echo to really aggressive junglers. Because of that, he can get in your face with the red buff. You never are going to outrun him because of his passive. Then the ultimate is just this huge reset button. Once he gets what he wants, escapes, it drops turret aggro, it gives you a ridiculous amount of health back.
It's basically Zed.
He's just got a huge, better than Zed, it just gives you everything you want in the turret dive.
Yeah, I forgot to say, but good.
Yeah,
that was unfortunate. It's okay, guys, there's hope for Zed players.
Next patch.
Not next patch. From
2 patches from this.
Yeah, 2 patches from this particular game, as we are into 5.13. But devastating charge, there's the ultimate as well from Acorn. Not going to find Zatai, but they will trade that for a flash, which is definitely good news here for LGD.
So, Imp and PYL are rotating back and forth through lanes really quickly right now. And what that means is that they're always shoving out the wave, and they're accruing CS on the Vayne. So 23 CS is the advantage right now for Imp. He's going to be able to shove this wave out again, and there's no real way for the Cogmore to be able to respond because they don't want the 2v2 lane. We already saw that it got dove, so Right now, it just means that Imp's going to get bigger and bigger, pick up that Blade in the Royal King nice and early, and control the map for his team. They will trade objectives here, but LGD probably will grab 2 in response. Being Dragon and Bot.
Yeah, and of course, LGD with a lot of vision around that Dragon area. TBQ looks like he's just starting it up on his own as well, as he certainly has. They've got exclusive vision of the area, and no one's around from IG, so going to try and trade top turret for that Dragon. And could this be part of IG's plan as well, Spawn? The fact that they took that early Dragon, meaning they don't need to contest around these sort of mid-game team fights?
Oh, they definitely don't want to fight right now. The problem is that they gave up the 2-for-1 special, which they would not have wanted to do.
Special.
But yeah, with the advantage that Imp already got, he's sitting on a recurve bow. There's not even the Sheen right now. You can see that Rookie hasn't picked up the Athene's Unholy Grail, so he's not where he wants to be on the Lulu. So definitely a good decision to not fight LGD at this particular time.
Well, Imp is going to take away the Krogs here, as that turret hasn't quite fallen down yet, but LGD are going to finish that one off. You can see gold picked up there from Imp as far as local is concerned, and time continuing to shove this one out. Akon going to get slowed by the Zephyr, but Kitty's not going to offer any kill pressure. Akon just looking to try and pick up as much farm as he can. Now has the Ninja Tabi, and of course, that Ruby Crystal.
Drugs off a lot of the auto attack damage at this stage with him coming through. There's one thing about Trinity Force users, Ninja Tabi before the Sheen is just such an effective purchase because of the relatively low base AD that comes into effect. As we see, now back's completed for IG, and they're looking much more happy, although LGD, same could probably be said about them.
Yeah, Rod of Ages already completed it. 12 minutes for Godby, that's pretty good.
Yeah, he's at 125 CS as well. Yeah.
Now going to pick up a blue buff as well, as the minions are rushing
right behind him,
each other.
By the way,
yeah, exactly. Both of these mid laners been farming very well. Spidey senses were tingling here for Godby. Not going to be checking that one, as Cow probably going to be able to steal away this blue buff.
Yeah, but as we say that, TBQ is already on the other side of the map. Well and truly aware of the Cow shenanigans.
Not going to be able to clear out this pink ward as well, as they didn't actually check, so LGD is still going to have knowledge of the area.
But that means that Godby didn't get it, and Rookie did. And now they're caught on they're doing the do-si-do. They're on the wrong side of the lane.
Well, Rookie's going to clear that one out. Lots of damage down onto that mid-outer turret. LGD now looking to transition towards the top side as minions have crashed towards that one.
And
Lots
Imp is just so strong that he's zoning people off turrets. He's not even taking them. The creeps are taking them by themselves, and he's getting solo experience still. Like, he's ahead of Acorn, nearly caught up to Godby as well. You can see that he's 3/4 of the way through that level. Imp is going to be a beast.
Almost already is here, 33 CS in the lead. You can see LGD actually having the advantage here globally as far as that gold. PYL might have caught out Rookie. There's the shockwave as well as he ignites down. Is the wild growth going to be enough here, as it seems like they've ran out of CCs? The ties in here. Kitty's round through the backside as well. Monsoon available. PYL comes in with the stand behind me. There's the parallel convergence. Cacao looking for the stun, finds PYL. He is so low, going to die as the jungler grabs another one. Exhaust onto Godby. Not a lot of mana here as Kitty's Monsoon to keep himself alive. Knock up from TBQ. There's the chrono break out for Cacao to break the aggro at the same time. But Acorn and Imp, they're here as well. Final hours being popped. Zatai might be in trouble, able to at least become untargetable for the next little while. Glitterland's going to save Cacao for now as Zatai's going low. Imp grabs the kill, flashes after Kitties, looking for the last auto. There it is for the double kill.
That was so bad for IG. They overextended, thought they were going to be able to grab Godby, but he was just always out of reach. It meant that they expended so much. The flash on Janna, the Monsoon on Janna. Even Cacao's ultimate was burnt for absolutely nothing under that turret. The flank on the top half of the map from Imp was beautifully timed.
Yeah.
And it just meant that he was able to clean up time before he had any effect in that fight. Juggernaut just wasn't teamed up there, and really good positioning from LGD mean that they took it.
Yeah, it wasn't much of an option, as well as the fact that that was off the back of Rookie getting caught out. And we do have a replay of what just happened, and let's have a look.
Yeah, so they think that they've come up with a jackpot here. PYL has been caught out. They're able to pick up the first kill, and honestly, they should have been happy there because you can see his Godby has no wave clear. They could set up, siege this turret. They have the huge minion wave. Instead, they burn Cacao's ultimate. They've gone so deep, and as you can see, Acorn and Time just arrived, able to grab the kill onto Acorn, zone Cacao and Rookie away, and then Imp just has a field day because there's no other threats left to deal with him.
Yeah, there was also the fact that Wild Growth was already down at the beginning of that fight. Not a lot of the defensive capabilities from IG left there, and that means that there's a 3-0-1 Vayne running around the track.
Yeah, exactly right. As we do jump back into live, guys.
Pretty quickly.
That short pause, yeah. It was nice, smooth transition.
Yeah, the fast wreck site, love it. Rookie locking down Siege as well, always like to see that, as Godby still hasn't gone back. Just sitting on that Rod of Ages and utilizing that Catalyst to grab some extra mana as he levels up. Now going to go back and pick up some items.
See what he goes for next. Kakao being invaded by PYL.
Not sure whether PYL is going to be able to win that one. Of course, only a level behind.
Oh, he got it.
Oh, he stole it. PYL, the Lord himself. Winter's Bite doing the work. That's maybe
that
that
on
buff
1
was
HP
too
as
much.
well.
Maybe it didn't need to do too much damage. Glitterland's going to find him. Rookie not going to go any further here. TBQ actually going to use the ultimate to get himself towards Rookie. Cinderhawk completed as well as the Kindle Gem and the Sight Stone. So lots of health available for LGD's jungler. But
Kakao not picking up the Sight Stone this game.
yeah. A lot of cooldown reduction already, actually. And that's 30% purely from items. I believe Cinderhawk gives you 10, sorry. Yes. 50% from items already. He'd be getting close depending on what his runes are.
Probably doesn't have any on his runes if this is a build he's going. It'll probably be to lock it into Frozen Heart.
Good
which
point.
puts him at the 40% mark.
Has been destroyed.
He's going to easily take down the turret he prepared earlier. We'll see whether he rotates around. Of course, split pushing Vayne is definitely going to be a threat at the moment, considering his items.
Look, he's overextended. He's baiting here for his team.
Yeah, there's the parallel convergence. It's down. Rookie still has the ultimate. Can use it to get away, but LGD have got the heck out of here. That dissonance did a lot of damage. In comes Imp with a whole lot as well. But the Monsoon's going to get him out of there. He still wants more, of course. Imp able to catch the tie. There's the twisted advance, but he's not going to be out. Oh, actually flashes out of the way. Godby, in the meantime, is going to destroy Kitties as PYL's doing some work as well. Double kill for Godby as he's finally on the scoreboard, and they grab a turret.
Yeah, in the end, LGD with just such good positioning. IG tried to make the Q play, bait Rookie out, send 4 members in behind him, but LGD just had it read. They were able to get away. Now they pick up 2 turrets. Imp is a monster. We said that he was going to be accelerated. By God, he is huge. And Godby now picking up a double kill. As you mentioned, finally on scoreboard, they'll grab the 2nd dragon of the game, 3rd dragon of the game.
Yeah, 2-1-1, so 3rd dragon is going to go to LGD. Of course, IG grabbed the 1st one here this game, so not going to be a 5th dragon threat too much longer here. Actually, too long, if I was going to get my words correct, but that is close to a 7,000 gold lead already for LGD, and somehow they've just screamed out ahead. You have to say it's largely off the back of his Vayne pickup that Imp didn't have a whole lot of faith in earlier on. Has now found something that he likes.
He was just lulling someone else into a false sense of security, I believe.
It's all mind games.
It is. As we do have another pause, guys.
Another brief pause. Phantom Dancer was just completed by Imp's Vayne as well. So 2-item Vayne against just the Trinity Force from the Cogmore.
Luden's Echo also picked up from Godby. So he's gone once again for the movement speed. Of course, a little bit of a damage tap came through for Luden's Echo, supplemented by a huge movement speed boost, 10% now.
Yep.
Get you around the rift nice and quick.
Thanks for the peace sign there, PYL, as well. We'll see what these teams can do. As we get back to this one, Kitty's looking pretty content, or intent.
I was going to say concerned would have been a better way to put it.
Yeah, I was going to go looking intently, but then I said content, and it didn't make any sense at all because it's not what he looked like. PYL looking pretty happy on the other side of the rift. We are back into the game, though. So Kakao maneuvering around the jungle. Spots a ward. Doesn't spot it, of course, because that one's invisible.
Not having any luck right
No,
now.
I'm not. Things aren't going well, Spawn.
You could see that you've done the IG. Started well early, and then things just fell apart in the big game outlets.
See, here we are. Everything's a segue. PYL not going to get so lucky with the Winter's Bite this time around.
Oh, you never know. He's got a 2nd.
True.
Not so lucky with the Winter's Bite this time around.
Thank you. Another 2 more minutes. We are going to have that Rod of Ages completely stacked up here for Godby as well, sitting on, I believe that's 6 or 8. 6, I think, because he boarded at about the 12-minute mark. So it's going to be 22 minutes, and that one's going to be completed. Brown Bag's still sitting on him, though, with that Luden's Echo. We'll see whether he goes for early Alacrity enchantment for the extra movement speed. He does like to run fast on his Orianna, generally. Don't want to make any assumptions. We'll see what he decides to finally do as he grabs his items.
And you can see that just in every major position, they're slightly ahead. Spirit Visage finished up in the top lane versus Just Components with the Home Guard enchant also done from Acorn. He's 2-0-4, sitting very nicely. Mid lane, even though farm relatively equal, Godby just edging his way ahead because of those kills. And because of the kills and the turret lead that's being picked up, it's just accelerated that little bit further than what you would have normally liked for IG, who has a great scaling comp. They've got the Lulu, they've got the Kog'Maw. They're just not going to be able to get there. We said this is going to go late game. LGD are playing their team like a mid-game comp.
Yeah. And they're just taking the advantages that they gained. And 3-0-4 on this Vayne in comparison to a 0-3-0 Kog'Maw just means that this Vayne is already at the late game stage. Now with a pickaxe in the back pocket as well. It's just so far ahead is Imp that all of these things that we talk about in reference to Vayne don't apply this time around.
Yeah, they certainly don't. And, you know, once again, you have to, as much as I like rookies, Lulu, I think it's really good. You have to question when they play this style of League of Legends without a threat on the top side of the map that isn't Cacao. They seem to struggle in these fights as they break out throughout the mid-game until their AD carry really is secure in their gold. Happened with Kid, now it's happening with Time. Sometimes you feel that IG just try and get a little bit too cute with their compositions and should play more to their strength.
Yeah, not really putting the power in the right hands, maybe. Well, see whether they can turn things around. Of course, we've mentioned the fact that IG's comp can work fantastically well, assuming Time can stay alive.
As
and
Teleport,
things,
Ignite,
so
and Ultimate would burn out of Acorn. He teleported into that brush behind Time, tried to take him out. Did not succeed.
No, he didn't. Got a flash for it, though. Teleport, Ignite, and Ultimate in trade for a
Imp
flash.
Might be caught out here a little bit.
Oh, Parallel Convergence is there, but Imp.
Spidey Sense.
Yeah. A lot of talk about that. There's the combo. Zatai takes a lot of damage. The true damage from those Silver Bolts, man. They are doing some work.
And no one can go with Acorn right now on the top side of the map, so it just looks like they've given up and even trying to do it. They now send Rookie there, but he's the guy that needs to protect Time. So no fight going to go in their favor.
BBQ's just farming out his jungle. He, of course, has that Void Rush if he ever needs to get anywhere. Backing members of LGD. Of course, Godby just wants to be able to move faster, so needs to complete those Alacrity enchantment boots. And as I say it, going to grab it there and making up for the fact that he doesn't have the Athene's Unholy Grail or the Morellonomicon by getting those Lucidity boots.
Have to check out later on whether he runs scaling CDR Blue to make up the difference or whether he just relies on Blue buff being given over to him. But you're right, it's just, he's always done this. He just refuses to build standard on Orianna, and for some reason it just looks much better when he does it. Yeah. Than anyone else's. LGD start up a Baron out of sight.
Yeah, all five of them here. Of course, Silver Bolt's doing a whole bunch of work as well as Blade of the Wrong King. That is very dead. Baron's
now they're going to engage.
Yeah, they're going to try and turn it here as Acorn's running incredibly fast. Howling Gale going to find POL, possibly stop this engagement, but the damage has been done. LGD, 9,000 is close to the gold leaders. I believe that Gromp was just stolen away by Zatai. But LGD look to try and siege up this turret, extend that gold lead even further. As in goes Acorn, actually gets the devastating charge damage off the Kitties. He's going to get pushed off.
And it's 10,000 gold right now, 22 minutes in. LGD has just completely strangled IG off this map. And there's nothing they can do. The primary carriers are just so threatening right now on LGD. They can't clear the minions out.
Parallel Convergence is there. Im's going to tumble out of the way of it. Stun actually goes down. Timewinder in, but not a whole lot of damage available. Looks like LGD going to be able to break the base here as Zatai. He's going to get slowed, and my goodness, the damage out of him. As the combo does get completed on those Silver Bolts. Inhibitor's going to die as well. And Imp's Vayne is just so scary.
Imp is making a very good case for once again being considered premier AD carry in the LPL. He is just looking so threatening at
week
this
after
point.
week.
And he's cornered Zephyr Atlas.
Oh my goodness, he's the best player in the world, in my opinion. The tenacity, the extra movement speed spawn. multiplicatively scaling with his boots too, as well as that Phantom Dancer.
As all movement speed items do.
Just be quiet. Okay, it sounds good. I just love Zephyr as an item. It's fantastic. But
I actually really like Zephyr for the attack speed it gives him.
yeah.
Especially because Vayne gets so many hidden stats out of her final hour. All the AD that comes into effect when that is popped. But Tikau going to face check Tremendous. Doesn't care.
Shouldn't be too worried about it. Actually goes aggressive there.
Looks like they're surrendering.
Yep, that was going to be the flash there as IG. They do surrender. Monsoon goes down from Kitty, so no one going to die just yet. But 24 minutes into the game, and IG, they tap the mat, see whether they can do it better next time around.
Yeah, Imp came into vision with that Zephyr, and they were just like, we're done,
Yep,
guys.
Yep, sorry. Too much professional itemization.
And you can see, this is the reason that so many people regard LGD above and beyond where they've sat on the standings the whole time through. They did it split one. Yeah, they did it split one, and now with 9 points available, they can move up to 34 points. That's 1 point behind QG, I believe. Xiaogu going to beat them out in that second spot, but they can still grab third if they really take control of this weekend. And when they get rolling, what is him doing? Is he talking? Is he sleeping?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. When they get rolling, they're just so fun to watch.
Oh, they certainly are. And of course, Godby on the Orianna. There are so many picks in that game that are just, I guess, trademarks of LGD. Acorn's Hecarim, as well as, TBQ on the Rek'Sai, one of the champions that he can definitely make work. It wasn't quite the Lee Sin, but the Orianna coming out of Godby as well. I mean, bit of an unsung hero with him just running around doing so much work, but Godby always able to get such incredibly impressive things done on that champion.
Yeah, it certainly is. And IG, they picked themselves a one-threat comp where everyone had to get behind time.
Yeah.
They had to win the top half of the map because of the augmentation, and then time had to go even or better.
Yeah.
And in the end, they weren't able to do any of that. Top half of the map, because of the lane swap that came through, was always an effective LGD. They are the best lane swapping team in the LPL right now. They just do it so efficiently, and they give up the objectives they have to. The first dragon, they give up so many first dragons and turn it around to win games because they just get farm on people that need it more than anyone else.
Yeah, so ironically, time got the better of IG that game. But we are going to have another one. The last game of the LPL for today is going to be coming up right after this short break and after Spawn dispatches with his completely annoying co-caster.